Hello everyone. Just gonna turn that non-grime song off. But I do listen to grime. Don't even get it twisted. But I just want to comment on this Wiley situation, right? For me, I think it's just completely ridiculous. The fact that someone can't have an opinion on a section within society who are generally winning. I mean, okay, Jews are a minority, yeah, around the world, but they hold such a high proportion of the world's wealth. I bet if you look at statistics which probably aren't even out there because it's all happening sort of under the radar, but let's face it, I think everyone knows Jewish people are winning. So for a black man to come out and have certain comments about Jewish culture, for me, what's the problem? What's the problem? It's a loss for free speech, really. I mean, they're actually covering... I mean, I really wish, like... I know The Godfather 3 is out, but if The Godfather 3 was dropping tomorrow, oh, mate, this would be the best exposure ever. But they're actually covering Wiley's rants on the news. Now, this is nothing new. Wiley tweeting about some things and expressing himself, expressing his feelings at the time, like, with no filter, that isn't anything new. And now all of a sudden, just because he's commenting on Jewish people who hold a lot of power, like, let's be honest here, they hold the keys to like multiple aspects of society and that, yeah? And now all of a sudden he says something about a Jewish person, now it's being covered on the news, now it's being, like he's been reprimanded for what? For making a few comments about Jewish people. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of what he said, but what I do know is that is a loss for free speech. And ultimately, I think that it's an attempt to take more and more and more of our rights away from us. This cancel culture really has gone too far. Now, someone might say, oh, yeah, but, if people are being cancelled for saying things with regards to black culture, then it has to work both ways. No, it doesn't really, because, and I'll tell you why, black people in general have been oppressed for a long time, and, there's regions of black society, and this is more of a statistical point, but there's a lot of people within black communities who have been held back for whatever reason, and it's the system that's held them back, ultimately, right? So, for someone who's come from that system and flourished to have a view of a section of society who are winning should be acceptable, right? And ultimately, everyone should have a right to say things unless those things are inciting hatred, which I don't believe these tweets were. So, ultimately, this cancel culture has to stop. I mean, the only time I think it's warranted to say, oh no, those comments were out of line, is when it's against a section of society who are perhaps struggling, That's when you can say, okay, really, those comments are out of line. But even then, I would even argue on the other side that, freedom of speech, really, I mean, Twitter was a platform to tweet your views on things. If it's an unpopular view, that doesn't mean you should be cancelled from the culture now. I know I'm sort of going into one a bit now, maybe a bit more of a rant, but I'm just going to put this out because it's a viewpoint anyway. Hey, freedom of speech, yeah, and let's also solidarity and all that, yeah. But I think ultimately people should be able to have a view on things, And for him to say something about Jewish people and it all of a sudden be on the news just says how much of a stranglehold the Jewish community has over popular culture, especially the news, okay? And that's nothing against Jewish people either. It's just a fact, yeah? And if these same people are holding other members of society back while they're on a roller coaster to the top, or an elevator, should I say, then they should be open to scrutiny, Because we want to focus... They want to distract us from all the real issues in life. Oh, so-and-so said this about so-and-so, etc., etc. But there's real structural issues within society that need to be addressed, yeah? And we're all here focusing on these little, oh, he said this, he said that, da-da-da. And the real criminals, especially the financial criminals and others, towards the top, they're getting away scot-free. So let's all unite, stand together, yeah. Let's support Wiley, yeah, because the Godfather of Grime at the end of it, you know, needs recognition. And I know I've probably gone off on a bit of a rant here, but supporting Wiley all the way. But more than anything, I just want to support free speech, freedom of speech. And I know I've gone off for 5 minutes here, and I had nothing planned, so forgive me if I've gone off a bit here. But otherwise, thank you everyone who's been supporting the channel. 2,000 subs now. If I really get myself together and actually start doing the videos properly and regularly, and so I've got a lot of ideas, you know, I need to get them down. So once I start doing that, I think the channel is going to build a bit more momentum. But 2,000 subs, never would have expected that. So coming for some of the other channels out there as well. Mike Wars was nah, you know, but I'm coming for you guys. What's the scene saying as well? I see you, you know. But anyway, no, anyway, love to everyone else who's like promoting the culture. And yeah, Wiley, big up yourself and peace, yeah.